Giddy up like a spur, I feel like Tim Duncan, yeah. Shorty, she tweaking, she yelling and screaming. Let's get all the fussing, yeah. Let's get all the fussing, yeah. Chasing this demon, ballin' like Tatum.
All right, everybody, welcome back to some more 94 feet. This episode, we're gonna go into the Milwaukee Bucks. Isaac, I know we all watched that game last night. They lose to the Celtics in a very, I would say, strange fashion, knowing that Tatum had an off night, and Peyton Pritchard is the person that's doing y'all greasy.
Literally, yeah, like Peyton Pritchard giving you 28, almost gave you a 30 ball, and Tatum only had 15, and they still lost.
Yeah.
Like, I know there was no Middleton, but Dame and Giannis had 30.
And yeah, you're
And
basically
it's like,
Lillard went toe to toe with Peyton Pritchard in a sense. There's a way you could word that and it wouldn't be controversial.
yeah,
That
no,
to me
and
is
it's so
scary.
crazy to me. To even
That
have them in
is
both in the same sentence is insane.
that's scary.
Literally.
But yes, indeed, as you said, no Middleton. I'm starting to feel like what like, but we'll get to Middleton later and the rest of this team. Right this minute though, as a full squad, right? The real
Yeah.
question of the day for me, can Milwaukee get past the second round and contend with a New York and a Boston?
If they stay healthy, they have a shot at New York. I don't think that they're hanging with Boston at all. I would give them one game, and that would be a game where everyone is absolutely off, and Damian Lillard just goes Dame time. That's the only thing I can actually see. And once they can contain that, unless they got Giannis Antetokounmpo coming off the bench and hooping,
Well, he's
I
not
don't
there no
see him.
more.
Where
Giannis
is
little
he?
brother's not somewhere out in God knows where. You know it's like who he play for. He moved on to God knows where.
Yeah, nah.
You don't
It's
feel
it's
bad. You
slow for
made the
them.
same. You literally everybody was talking about when Giannis plays Bronny and that everybody's like
Right.
everybody had all these memes. I know everybody and I was like, does anybody realize that he ain't there? No one realized it.
See, I heard something about him not getting re-signed, but I thought I was bugging.
No. Well, the internet, you know what it is? The internet, yo, literally the way everybody's been covering it, they almost like fools gold you into thinking he was still there.
I
Not be funny, it
mean,
wasn't like he was doing nothing before. So
think about it though. He was a big piece for Giannis
yeah,
being his older brother. That is his older brother, right?
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So he was a big piece for Giannis, and I remember, I don't remember who exactly said it. I think it was Jeff Teague. It might have been Dame. It was one of them though, and they were saying like how much his brother actually means to him,
yeah.
and like he won't play unless he knows his brother is sitting on that bench. Like, you know what I'm
So to
saying?
be
So it's
determined with
like,
that.
yeah, but I mean, overall, the New York series will be all right with them. Um, it won't be too bad. I think New York still wins though because they have the pieces. As long as they're healthy, they have the full squad. I feel like they have the pieces that would just take out the Bucks. Like if they just went bucket for bucket, unless Giannis and Dame were doing some Kyrie and LeBron stuff, scoring 40 apiece, it's not gonna cut it. And then even that, it's like other people got to show up as well. You know, Brooke Lopez is doing his thing here and there, whatever. Hopefully, Chris Middleton comes back healthy and he can, do what he got to do. But I don't know. The Bucks are in a little bit of trouble. I think Giannis saying that they might trade him was his way of saying he might want to be traded by
I,
the end of this.
that was his way of saying, "Get rid of me,
Yeah,
please." That
no,
was
for
his cry
real.
for help. That
Because
was
it
his cry for
just
help.
it's looking sad over there, and like Giannis still got some in the tank, and so does Dame. If I'm being honest, so it's like they could try and make a blockbuster trade. I don't think that if they trade Dame, too much is gonna happen. But if they trade Giannis, they could get some pieces. And I'm not saying Dame has no value because he definitely does. But after that whole thing getting traded, I don't know if they're gonna do it right away like that. He might just be the point guard that they go through and they try and do it that way. But I don't know. I gotta say thank you to the Bucks for giving us Drew Holiday, honestly, because I don't know what they was doing with that.
Always a big thank you for
Yeah,
Milwaukee
no, for
for
real.
the
Thank you,
trade
thank
of,
you,
the
thank
trade
you.
of the century. as I jokingly call it.
I mean,
'Cause
when they
goodness,
beat us, I feel like he was the reason why we
no,
lost to them.
literally,
Because he was locking down Marcus Smart. Oh my goodness. Marcus Smart couldn't handle nothing. And it was like Drew Holiday was literally what the Celtics wanted Marcus Smart to be.
Yes. I mean, I honestly
Like,
argue Drew Holiday's a Hall of Famer. I don't think first ballot before you come fly at me, but Hall of Fame worthy.
definitely,
I
definitely
think
Hall of Fame worthy.
I
And
think he has a case.
if they win another one,
Yeah, he'll really have a shot.
yes, like there's no reason why you can't say he's not a Hall of Famer. Fact.
Not at all. But back to the Bucks, and speaking about Hall of Fames and championships and awards of that, dear, given how this trade worked, and I said to you a year ago when this trade happened, I remember you texted me and I said, it is championship or bust. If they don't win a championship, this project has failed. Is this still the mentality of Milwaukee? Is it still championship or bust, or because of what has happened and how Boston looks, are we like, well, if not for this?
All right, so like I see glimpses of them hooping together, and it looks great. That duo, because I mean any point guard and big man duo, power forward or center, and they're good. Usually, you know what I'm saying. It's someone that you fear. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that anyone in the East fears them. One, because of injuries,
Yeah.
because both of them get hurt. And it's like injuries happen. It's part of sports. But I feel like sometimes it just be too easy. I mean, they lost to the Pacers, nothing against the Pacers, but they shouldn't have lost that series if they were healthy. But no Giannis, and then losing Dame for the last couple games. That, like, you know what I'm saying? So Greek Freak and Dame Time are gonna do their thing, but they can't be the only ones to do it. So like, I think it's gonna be a bust, sadly. And then they're not beating the Celtics whatsoever. No matter who they try and go through and do whatever they got to do, they're not beating the Celtics in the 7-game series. So I don't see them doing anything while they're together unless they try and go get some pieces and some crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
But they would have to literally call for a miracle and switch up a lot on that coaching staff.
And speaking of the coaching staff, this is where we will conclude this with this final question. Is Doc Rivers really the answer as head coach?
No, he is not the answer. Just like in Philly, just like in the Clippers, and just like that end of the Boston show. Like they won in 08, cool. After that, it was like, we're going to see who's the better coach. And he got shown up every single time. I mean, how do you have Lob City Clippers and don't make it? What did they not make it past the second round? Or did they not make it past the first?
No, they never got past the second round.
Okay, so second, yeah.
It was always
Like,
second round.
That team was insane. You got Chris Paul basically in his prime. It was literally right before the come up of Curry for real. Chris Paul was hooping. Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan was like, I mean, come on, bro. And then
Jamal
Crawford coming off the bench, and you're telling me you can't do nothing. That's like, for instance, it's like with OKC with Westbrook, Durant, and Harden coming off the bench. At least they made it to the finals, though. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
like
with
that,
them, they only had 2 shots. So if they,
yeah, if they would have stayed together, they probably would have won.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, it's a little sad. It's really sad. And then it's like you gotta look at who else you got on that coaching staff with him. Salute. Darvin Ham. He needs to get up out of there. I don't know why they hired him, thinking that him and Doc Rivers sitting next to each other was going to be a good idea. But, I mean, these dudes are in a close game. They need someone to drop a play. They give Darvin Ham the clipboard, and he says, salute, guys. Doc Rivers over here talking about, let's just have some fun. I don't know if he actually said that, but, like, that's the vibe that he gives off. So it's just like, it just pisses me off. If I'm being honest, it's diabolical. It's absurd, and it's stupid. They should not be on the same thing together at all. The only good thing that I would say about Doc Rivers is that he circled Peyton Pritchard's name for the Celtics game last night. And, you seen the outcome of that. So
you see why he circled his name.
Right, yeah. So I'll give it to him. He knows basketball, and he was a good player when he was hooping. But, like, it's just I think that he just called it quits. It ain't working out for him at all. At all. Like, sadly.
Mm.
When they said they got Doc Rivers after that whole thing, I was like, oh yeah, nope, it's definitely a bust now. They ain't going nowhere. Slow.
You know, as someone who grew up with the Celtics teams, to have this conversation, it just
It's
hurts a
sad.
little. It hurts
Yes.
just a little
He was my
right
favorite coach
here.
at one point. And then I
Like,
realized who Greg Popovich was.
no, literally. Then I learned about Phil Jackson. Like,
Right. And then, yeah.
but
I mean, now I can say Joe Mazzulla and JJ Redick do the cycles, but I love it.
but anywho, with Doc, it is really crazy to think that if you strip him of this '08 championship,
Oh, he is
he is
trash as a coach.
he literally
He's on the
has
same level of Monty Williams.
honestly, here's a comparison I'll give you for Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers as a coach, honestly, in all reality, is Eli Manning as a player. If not for that one or two rings, you have nothing to your resume. And I'm realizing in that moment, when I think Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, I now have to kind of say Doc Rivers is not a Hall of Fame coach. But that
No,
feels wrong.
I think they might give it to him just because how much that '08 series meant. And he was the coach of that. But that was Paul Pierce's team, if we
Uh,
being honest. They played
eh,
together, but that was Paul Pierce's team. And yes, the coach was a part of it and he led them in the right direction, but and then after that, it was just,
it's Pierce, KG, and Allen. It's the three vets coming
you know what
together,
I'm
locking
saying?
in. There's
And then you
nothing.
got Rondo, young Rondo with the IQ that he had. He wasn't
Whew.
so big headed before, you know what I'm saying? So it's like before all they started beefing and they split up and all that, it was great to watch. And
Yeah.
like I think they could have won more if I'm being honest. I mean, they should have beat the Magic in '09 and went and played the Lakers again. Am I bugging?
No, no, you're not bugging at all.
And then, like, yes, respect to Kobe, but they should have beat them in 2010 as well. But injuries play a part and things happen. But I think it comes down to coaching. I mean, you're coaching against Phil Jackson. He beat him the first time, and then Phil Jackson figured out his number.
Yeah. But unlike figuring out his number, our number ain't figured out here on the Harding Way. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, hit those bells and wings things down below. As I like to say, ain't no like the Harding Way. Peace.